All right, guys, welcome to the Fourth and Football podcast. I'm John Droke. This is Wyatt. This is Jacob. And we're going to be bringing you guys everything NFL, football, college football, sports in general, betting lines, and pretty much everything in between that. I'm John Droke. I'm from Selmer, Tennessee, small town. I go to school at Texas A&M University, Texarkana. I used to play soccer there. Now I just go to school. I'm a mass communications major. Just really looking forward to doing this podcast. Ready to talk some football with my boys over here. And I'll pass it over to Wyatt.
I'm Wyatt Staggs. I grew up in Greenville, Texas. Played football my whole life. Transferred out here to Texas A&M, Texarkana. And I'm ready to graduate and start coaching.
Yeah, I'm Jacob Rivas, born in Arlington, Texas. Not a Cowboys fan. Grew up in DeKalb, Texas. Went to the military after graduating. Got a family up here, sell cars over at Classic Dodge in Texarkana. And as you can see, a Houston Texans fan, proudly.
All right, so Jacob, you're a Texans fan.
Yeah.
Wyatt, your team.
New York Giants.
Sadly.
Me, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You can call me a bandwagon. You cannot, because I'm not. I've been rocking with the Chiefs since Trent Green was a quarterback. But no, things have been looking really well for us here recently. Kind of odd, all of us are living in Texas, and he's the only one that actually supports a team from here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a lot of Cowboy fans around here.
No,
not
sir.
at all.
No,
Not over here.
you're not gonna have any Cowboy loving coming from us on this
No,
podcast.
if you're looking for Cowboy love on this podcast, click next.
So, guys, clearly, Week 1 starts this Thursday as Kansas City's hosting the Baltimore Ravens
How you
in
feeling
a
about that?
rematch of the AFC Championship game, and I have never been more excited. Derrick Henry now starting running back, we assume, for the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm very interested to see how Kansas City's defensive line, Chris Jones, how they're going to handle that. I think that's going to be the biggest factor in the game. I'm not worried about Kansas City scoring. New addition Xavier Worthy, fastest man in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Kansas City scoring-wise, but I am interested to see how they're going to stop that two-headed monster, which will be Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be interesting to see Derrick Henry not facing an 8-man box majority of the time. I'm looking for him to have a big game against Kansas City and open up the passing game also for Lamar. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the Ravens in this one. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm gonna take
Ravens?
the Ravens.
I think I'm with you on that one. I'm taking
Yeah.
Ravens
I
by
don't know.
7.
It's just, I feel like the last couple of years, the Chiefs has dropped Week 1.
Well, I mean, that's what we did last year. We opened
Yep.
up against the Detroit Lions, and Jared Goff. Yes. No, I'm sorry. I'm used to Matthew Stafford being there. Jared Goff goes out there, dices up the defense. Kadarius Toney goes out there, does Kadarius Toney things, shits the bed, can't figure out how to catch a ball. Just classic Week 1 Kansas City Chiefs. We struggled throughout the year, but ended in a Super Bowl. So
It's true.
maybe we're gonna get a three-peat this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, y'all did seem bored. They seemed bored towards like middle of the season, and I'm not gonna lie, I was loving. I was enjoying the downfall. I was gloating. I loved it, and then playoff came around, and they got it together. So
I think my biggest concern about this Week 1 is it's like the Ravens have so much on the line for it. Like, it's a revenge game from last year's AFC Championship where the
True.
Chiefs went into their house, stomped them, only gave up 10 points.
It's in Baltimore this year, isn't it?
No, it's in Kansas
It's
City.
in Kansas
Yeah.
City.
In KC to open
it was in
up.
Baltimore in
Last year.
last year in the playoffs.
They're going to
yeah.
get to watch us hang the banner that could have been theirs on opening night.
Yeah.
I think Lamar has a big night against y'all.
You think?
Yeah.
I would assume, I hope that he goes back to playing the way Lamar knows how to play football, because
He just seemed timid in that.
he seemed timid. He
Yeah.
seemed like he was trying to throw the ball more than he was
Mhm.
comfortable with. And then there was just a bunch of other things that couldn't go right for the Ravens in that AFC Championship game, which eventually ended up leading the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. But I think they'll have a more refined team this year. I think Derrick Henry's going to cause a lot of problems for us defensively. But we'll see what Andy Reid has drawn up to react to that.
Safe to say you got your Chiefs winning, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I got Kansas City winning.
Kansas City winning. No,
And then going and beating
No.
Joe Burrow the next week.
I'm going to take Ravens on a
Ooh.
game-winning field goal.
game-winning field goal.
Game-winning field goal.
If it comes down to Justin Tucker's leg, then
Yep.
yes, absolutely. I would see the Ravens winning that game.
Arrowhead. I forgot it was an Arrowhead.
It is at Arrowhead.
Game will be a lot closer than I
I think the
anticipated.
Chiefs are 3-point favorites.
3-point favorites at home, so they're basically
3-point favorites at
not
home.
favorites.
No,
Over,
it's
under?
basically
It's basically
straight line.
straight up line.
Straight up
Straight
line, pretty
pick up
much.
ball.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
it's-
give me Lamar and the Ravens by 5.
I can respect that. I can respect. It's going to be a good game. It's two of the best teams in the AFC.
But I will say, it seems like when he plays Patrick Mahomes, he shrinks.
I think his overall record against Mahomes is 4-1, 5-1, something like that. The only time he's ever beat him, it was because a running back fumbled in field goal range. So it's like his kryptonite. He
Okay.
is to Lamar Jackson what Joe Burrow is to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Joe
think
Burrow.
last year what got Lamar is all the analysts for the game. They can't win the game if Lamar can't throw the ball.
Correct.
So I think he was trying to just throw the ball last year.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
messed him up.
He thought to beat Mahomes, you got to
Yep.
play like
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
He did
does.
not play like Lamar one bit. I will say that. It was honestly pissing me off because I wouldn't say I'm a Mahomes hater. I'm just not a big fan.
Hey, it's all right. You can admit it. You don't like him.
I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm not a hater. I appreciate the greatness, but I'm not a fan.
It's kind of like
That's
me
just-
with Tom Brady. You hate to see him winning for so long, you start rooting against him.
I
Yeah.
will say, after Tom Brady left the Patriots, I kind of liked him better. Like when
I
he was in
did,
Tampa
yeah,
Bay,
yeah,
when
yeah.
he was in
More
Tampa
in
Bay, I'm
Tampa.
like, let's
all
go,
of a
Tom.
sudden, all
I
of a
liked
sudden,
Peyton more in the Broncos. It's just
No,
I think
no,
when he-
no.
I
like
can't
Peyton
agree
the
with that one.
Broncos.
Cannot. That's
I like Peyton
wild.
with the
No,
Broncos.
when
That's a
Peyton went
wild
to the
take.
Broncos, but that's a division rival.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
All right, what about with the Giants? The Giants play the Vikings in New York, Week 1 on Sunday.
I
Danny
think it's going to be
Dimes?
interesting.
Danny Dimes, this is year breakout
Mhm.
year.
No JJ. I think we beat Sam Darnold.
Yeah, the Vikings are hurting, man.
Yeah.
I think Sam Darnold's going to surprise a lot of people with these weapons.
I think we're about to see the two worst secondaries in football play against each other.
Didn't they Vikings just get Stephon Gilmore?
Yeah, they did, but I mean, who else they got on the other side?
That's true. Wow, all you got to shut down is Malik, though. I mean,
I'm interested to see how Sam Darnold utilizes having a receiver like Justin Jefferson.
yeah.
And if things don't start going well, I'm curious if Justin Jefferson's like, I got to get the hell out of here.
I think he likes it. I mean, with the inexperienced quarterback, they more rely on a strong number one. So, I mean, it kind of just solidifies him as the best in the league.
He
that
just
way.
got his money too.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So he may
And they
be
still
there for
do
a
have
while.
Jordan Addison. Is he suspended beginning of the season or?
I'm not sure if he is or not.
I'm not sure
For the
either. I wanted
DUI?
to say 6 games.
Yeah,
but
that's what I think.
I did see Rasheed Rice didn't get nothing though.
That's
so.
true. That's true. That's pending.
Hey, man. Let's not talk about Rasheed Rice.
That's that
We're-
Kansas City luck.
Hey,
that just
yeah.
falls upon them.
There was many years where we didn't get any luck. Try watching Matt Castle as your starting quarterback for a majority of your
I'm
life.
watching it right now, but worse. Daniel Jones is my starting
Dude,
quarterback.
Nah, Danny's going to get it figured out this year, man.
No, he's not.
Danny's going to get it
No,
figured
he's
out this year,
not.
man.
I would love to say he is, but no, he's not. I'm gonna say it. Tommy DeVito should be our starter by week 5.
Ooh,
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
You think he's going
I
to get
like
out
that.
there in week 5?
I mean,
Maybe
he-
sooner?
He won against big teams last year. Who did Daniel
That's
Jones
true.
beat last year?
Daniel Jones looked pretty bad last year.
He looked bad
It
in
was,
preseason.
He definitely
What y'all finish
regressed.
at? What was y'all's record? Do you remember?
I think we won 5 or 6.
That's rough. That's really rough.
Yeah, I remember them days.
Nah, man, the Giants. The one thing I remember about Danny Dimes, like the play that stands out to me,
It's the trip.
is a trip. Yeah.
Yep. The big run, and everyone's
Oh,
like,
Ran
oh
like
my
yeah.
80.
gosh.
He ran like 80
And then
yards.
it sums
then,
up his whole career. He has all this potential, shows flashes, and then just
and then
flat
just falls
dies.
flat at the end. Nah, I think I'm gonna take the Giants in that game. I think Danny Dimes.
I'll take us.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
You
you're gonna
better.
I mean, JJ McCarthy going down. That's kind of disaster for the Vikings. I'm still kind of in shock that they traded Kirk Cousins the way that they did.
I mean, they got Aaron Jones now. They picked him up.
I forgot about that.
They have Aaron Jones. I mean, their coach is an offensive genius. He's under that McVay tree, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so he's a smart guy. I feel like Sam Darnold should blossom a little bit under him. And you got great receivers to take the pressure off him. I feel like they'll be all right. I'm going to take Vikings, man.
That's crazy because that's actually the money line. Minnesota 2-point favorites going into New York.
I'm gonna take
Ooh.
Giants by. Sound crazy? I don't trust Sam Darnold at all. Give me Giants by 13.
Oh
By
wow,
13.
They're gonna
13.
blow out.
They are kind of like one and the same, though, if you think about it. Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold, their careers, the way they play, I mean, the misfortune. They're very similar quarterbacks.
Daniel Jones got a playoff win
Do the Vikings not still have Addison?
against the Vikings.
It's,
This is his team to dominate.
Do the Vikings not still have Addison at
they do. I
They
think he
running
might
back.
be. Oh no, Madison.
Madison.
He went to
Madison,
Las
thank you.
Vegas, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
Las
Las Vegas
He,
picked him up.
he'll split time
Raiders
with
got him.
White.
Yeah.
Not worried about the
No.
Raiders at all.
Yeah.
We'll see what Aiden O'Connell can do. Or Gardner
Gardner
Minshew.
Minshew.
Well, I mean, he
Gardner
led the
Minshew.
Colts to almost the playoffs last year. So
Yeah, I don't
did.
see that happening in Las Vegas. Second year coach, first year head coach, not
first
being
year,
interim.
head coach, honestly.
Not being interim. and
Speaking
we'll-
of the Colts, though, we got Colts Texans week 1.
Colts, Texans.
that it?
week
Is that
one.
the game?
Yeah,
It
that's the
is.
game. For some reason, there's a crazy, unprecedented hype behind Anthony Richardson, and I don't understand it. I get the athletic ability, the stature, and everything, but I mean, he just.
if he can stay healthy, I mean, he'll be good. That's been his problem.
I feel like he's inconsistent. I mean, I feel like he's high and then he's low, and then he tries to get out of stuff with a run, which is fine, but it just. On the other side of the ball, you got C.J. Stroud, and he's just poised. He looks like a poised veteran. I mean, he looks like a young Aaron Rodgers to
Well,
me.
I mean, I think if you're comparing the quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud
Clears
over
easy.
Anthony Richardson.
Oh, yeah, he
all
clears him.
day, easily. But I don't think Anthony Richardson is terrible. We'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and say now, bust.
I'm going to say week
Bust.
7,
Bust.
he's out again. He hasn't had a healthy full season of football since his junior year of high school.
That's a tale that tells.
High
Bust is
school.
crazy.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. Call me crazy. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'll eat my words later, but I'm going to say bust.
I'm going to follow it. I'm going
And
to
I-
say bust.
Oh,
Give me one more year of Anthony Richardson.
okay,
man. Give me
okay.
one more year of Anthony Richardson.
I'm out on
He
him,
looks
but
good when he plays, but that's
yeah.
the thing. When he plays.
Let me see a healthy Anthony Richardson. Was that not the last regular season game for the Texans last year?
Yeah, they
When
played
it-
against Gardner Minshew.
And
speaking
it
of.
came down to whoever won that game went to
Mhm.
the playoffs. And
That was the ascension of C.J. Stroud and the
C.J.
Houston
Stroud
Texans.
found a way to win.
Yep. I think I dropped a tear when he dropped that one in the bucket to Nico for 75 at the beginning of the
Yeah,
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for Texans fans.
That is one thing I want to talk about with the Texans. Who's y'all's number one guy? Y'all got Nico. Y'all got Diggs. Y'all
I think
got Tank.
Nico's the number one guy. I think the most explosive is going to be Tank. Nico's still number one guy. I think he solidifies himself. I think Stephon's still going to have a decent year, but I think players, the media talks about Stephon, coaches talk about Stephon, we talk about Stephon, but players still respect Stephon Diggs as a number one receiver.
Yeah.
So I feel like Nico still hasn't earned that yet, and he will have a really, really big year.
I think Stephon Diggs is going to shut down internally about halfway through the season.
Really?
I think Stephon Diggs is one of the biggest crybabies in all of football.
Antonio Brown 2.0.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe his
Nah.
CTE's acting up, man. I
No
don't know.
way.
I know with what his relationship was with Josh Allen. Of course, I don't know what's going on behind doors. I don't know Josh Allen. I don't know Stephon Diggs. But what I saw on TV on Sundays is they did not look happy with one another.
No.
Stephon
yeah.
Diggs was always up in Josh Allen's face mask, chewing him out. Like, hey, motherfucker.
I mean, you got to get
with
dude.
y'all.
If you got a dude, you got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
You got. I mean, he's last year he is option number one. He is
Yeah.
wide receiver one for the Buffalo Bills, and he's not being targeted as much as he needed to be. Him and Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis might have been targeted more, and maybe not a majority of the games, but a lot of games that I watched, Gabe Davis was.
You
target
could
number one.
see Josh Allen's tearing away. The relationship was kind of breaking, and then the in-game relationship was also suffering from it, and he was kind of tearing away from Stephon. I mean, it was blatantly clear.
Yeah.
I hope Stephon he can adapt in Houston though, because in Buffalo he should have been the guy.
Big guy.
Yeah.
He's getting the ball a majority of the throws. There's so much talent in Houston.
Yeah. You
But-
got
Between Tank, Nico, Stephon,
Schultz, and
Schultz.
they added Joe Mixon.
I mean, think about how many guys are going to be touching the ball.
I mean, our number 5 receiver or number 4 receiver is John Mechie, and he's looked good in the preseason.
Teams are
so that's
calling
crazy
about
depth.
him every day is what we're hearing.
Hey, when
the
Mechie was
trades.
in college, man, oh my
Yes.
God. But yeah, no, I mean, the Houston Texans, they are set up talent-wise. There's so much depth on that team. I'm curious to see how Stephon's his personality meshes with everybody there, like with splitting touches.
I feel like under D'Amico and just like the way he's able to reach out to players and lead, I feel like and CJ's leadership, I feel like it'll mesh well. I feel like, I mean, shoot me if you want to. Don't call me a Cowboys fan, but this is our year. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
You said it now. You said it now. Must be a.
But-
They built a super team to take down Mahomes.
But who we got winning that week 1 matchup versus the Colts?
Texans by 17.
I'll go Texans by 8.
Ooh, y'all are both over what Las Vegas has it. Las Vegas has the Texans as 3-point favorites.
3.
Going into Indy.
Over under is 48.5. I'll take the Texans by 7. I think
By
they'll
7?
win by a
So
touchdown.
what we're saying is, if you were to bet on this game, you take the over on the money spread for the Texans.
Oh yeah. No, I'm taking the over on
I would
this.
definitely hit the over. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like game 1, we're going to shut people up and show people it wasn't a fluke. CJ's not going to have a sophomore slump. He's going to dice them up. And it's going to be a big gap between the two teams.
I'm also pulling for Nico because I need him to do well on my fantasy team. Nico, please, Nico.
I think I
I'm
got him
begging.
in. I think I got him in 2 leagues, so I'm in the same boat with you. I'm pulling for Nico.
Other games around the league. We got
Philly, Green Bay.
Green Bay going to Philadelphia.
In
That's-
my opinion, this is gonna be the game of the week.
I won't give my opinion on that just yet, but I'm gonna keep that in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So we got Jordan Love and the young Packers
Mm-hmm.
going into Philadelphia. Who new center Jason Kelsey done now full-time podcast with his brother.
He took on an office position too in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, didn't he?
And I think they just made like a big
Scouting
deal.
role, right? I
Yeah,
believe so.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Good for Jason Kelsey.
But yeah, we'll have the Packers going into Philadelphia. I think
In Brazil.
No
Is it in
green.
Brazil?
Yeah.
So did you see they can't wear any green?
Yeah, they can't wear any green.
I actually because in
Yeah.
the stadium you're not allowed to wear
Wear
green.
green.
So they
Yep.
sent
That's
two
the reason for
green
the
teams.
the black helmets for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Send 2 green teams to a stadium where
To
they can't wear
no
green.
green.
That is insane.
Might be. A
They
weird
didn't do
move
good
by the
research
NFL.
on that
No,
one,
They did
yeah.
not.
I bet Roger Goodell was like, "Who the fuck?"
I'm very, very curious to see how the Eagles are a very curious team to me, man. They had everything put together last year. 2 years ago they're in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
and they look like one of the most complete teams in the NFL.
And then the second half of the season, they win 1 of their last 7.
I mean, they just completely fell off. That needs to be studied.
That playoff
It
game,
does.
they weren't
I
even
mean-
there. It was like the Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah, the
walked
Bucs-
into
shell.
that game and
The-
just
the Bucs tore 'em
wiped
apart.
the floor.
Tore them apart, man.
It was a shell of that team. I mean, the phrase "boomer bust" comes to mind with the Philadelphia
Oh,
Eagles.
for sure.
I think this is a very pivotal year for them. Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I don't think he's like a top 5 quarterback, but I think he's a good quarterback. I'm curious to see how that tush push looks without Jason Kelsey. I think he was a big reason for the success on that. But let's not act like Philadelphia doesn't have weapons.
I mean, they did get Saquon.
They got Saquon.
They
If
did
Saquon
get
can,
my boy Saquon.
if Saquon can stay healthy.
Yeah,
I might be the only Giants fan in the world that thinks this. I was happy when we didn't pay Saquon. If you look around the league, you pay a running back, you don't win games. You don't win the big game.
Hey, first couple years that Saquon was with y'all, he was that guy, man.
He was
That's
that
true.
guy.
It was just
So-
the injuries.
if he's RB1 by the end of the year, are you going to regret that them not signing him?
I'm not. We're
Like game changing RB1.
No, I mean we're obviously in a rebuilding stage,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be hard for us to rebuild if we're paying a running back,
I mean,
the highest paid running back in the league. I mean
And
that's
if
a
you're
position
paying-
that's very replaceable. And if we're paying Daniel Jones 160 million,
that's wild.
What's your position? All right, let me give you a scenario. Like Giants, Eagles, like week 15 for the NFC East. Saquon just
we're gonna
bust one.
we're gonna be in the contention for the NFC East.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to
Not
you.
if you're
you
as a
really got my
Cowboys
hopes up
fan.
now.
Yeah, no. If you're in contention for the NFC East, I would be very proud of the
I
Giants.
will say I hate the Eagles, but I am rooting for Saquon. Obviously, I mean he was the only bright spot in our team for years. I will say that. So I am rooting for him, but I was happy to let him go. I think it was a good business decision.
is AJ Brown still with the Eagles?
He is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Oh,
And they
that's
just
right.
got
Jahan
Jahan Dotson.
So wide receiving room looking pretty
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it's top 5 core now.
If they're not a top 5 offense in football, their head coach needs to be gone.
Yeah.
And even though they lost Jason Kelsey, I think they're still going to have a pretty good offensive line.
Oh yeah.
I
They
mean,
always
it,
do.
it took all of them to perfect
Yeah.
that stupid little tush push. I hate the tush push, man. Let's make a prediction on it.
Okay.
Where they're going Brazil
Yeah.
for week 1. No green. the anti-Green Bowl, I'm going to take the Packers. I really, really like the Packers, man. I think that's actually, not to give it away, I got the Packers going deep in the playoffs at the end of the year.
I don't hate that take. I mean, I think the Packers going to go, NFC Championship is where I got them a little early to say that, but I'm going to go just with the veteran savvy of the Eagles. You got a lot, you spoke to it earlier, the young guys on the Packers going all the way to Brazil. Well, they know how to handle that travel, how to maintain their bodies, rest, and all that well. I'm going to take the Eagles just due to experience and the veterans they have on the team.
I'm going to take the Eagles. I think it's a big year for the Eagles. I have the Eagles going pretty deep. I think it's a big bounce back year.
Yeah.
I'll take the Eagles. I'll take them by 4, though. I think it's definitely going to be a close game, but give me the Eagles. And I think it's going to be super high scoring, though.
Las Vegas, money line, 3-point favorites, Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia.
I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. I think this is their year to make a run, not to win the Super Bowl. I think they're going to make a big push towards the end of the year. I think it's going to start right here. They're going to set the tone. I really like the way they looked in the playoffs last year against Dallas specifically. That looked like the best Packers team I've seen since Aaron Rodgers has been gone. So give me the Packers by a touchdown. I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be like a season-ending loss for the Eagles or anything. I don't think you hit the panic button because the Packers will be a good football team. But I think it's going to open some eyes for the Eagles. You know, they kind of start figuring out who they are. But give me the Packers by a touchdown.
I want to kind of do a speed run over the rest of the games.
Yeah, Steelers, Falcons.
Falcons.
Falcons, yeah.
Give me the Steelers.
Okay.
Against the grain. I can tell how John's going to be now.
Yeah. I'm not buying into the Falcons hype yet.
I mean, Mike Tomlin's, he's proven, so I mean, I get it. I'm big on Kirk Cousins. I know he doesn't have any playoff wins, but in regular season, I'm big on him.
We said boomer bust for the Eagles. I think that's the perfect thing to describe the Falcons.
I think the Falcons.
Boomer bust is I think they might be the biggest boomer bust team in the NFL.
I've got Drake London on my fantasy team. Going back to my fantasy team, I think the Falcons will be improved. I don't think that they're like Super Bowl bound or anything by any means.
If they get the divisional round, that's a successful season. They got Judon
for their division this year.
They should definitely win their division. In my
Justin
opinion.
Simmons, Judon, along with AJ Terrell. I mean, they got a solid defense.
Bijan's developed another year.
Yeah. They're actually really scary if you think about it.
Drake London, Pitts could have a good season with the QB getting him the ball this year.
So, y'all took the Falcons. I took the Steelers.
Yeah.
I believe in Mike Tomlin and Russell Wilson starting quarterback.
The captain,
Russell Wilson. Let's ride. Steelers Nation?
No.
Cardinals, Bills.
Cardinals.
In Buffalo.
Cardinals.
Ooh.
Give me Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Give me Kyler and the surprise Cardinals.
In Buffalo, give me the Bills, but give me the Bills by like a field goal.
Got you.
I think Josh Allen this is gonna be like a make or break, like, are you as good as Mahomes can be without weapons type of year. I think that's kind of who he's going to be compared to from here on out throughout the rest of his career.
For sure.
I mean, that's the two names that usually get mentioned along with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson more now that he's winning. But I'll take the Bills in a field goal.
Got a hot take on the Bills I'll save for later.
Okay. Titans Bears in Chicago.
Ooh.
Give me Caleb Williams getting his first win in his first game.
Give me a sweet homecoming for Caleb Williams. I'm going to take the Bears, yeah.
I'm going to take him big. That offense looks scary.
I feel like Will Levis is going to want to one-up Caleb Williams and just do too much and lose the game more so than the Bears winning the game.
That offense just looks too stacked for me against, in my opinion, a very bad Titans defense.
You know, I'm from Tennessee.
Y'all do have L'Jarius now.
They did get your boy.
It pains me to see L'Jarius Sneed go to the Titans, man. The Titans have weapons. I can't trust Will Levis from what I've seen from Will Levis. I'm going to go with y'all with the Bears. I'm going to say probably the Bears by 10 points. And then Caleb Williams. The start of the Caleb Williams era is here.
Yep.
He's mini Mahomes, man.
I saw a comparison. Somebody compared him to Steph Curry, and I really like that comparison. Instead of the Mahomes comparison, it's like, he does what he wants. He's kind of changing the game. He is like Mahomes in a lot of ways, but the way he carries himself and everything is very himself.
I'm curious to see, you know, this would be the best quarterback Chicago's had since
Justin Fields.
I wasn't going to go with Justin Fields. I was going to say probably since their last Super Bowl. Chicago was ranked like in the bottom half of the league.
Never had a QB throw for over 35. Was it 3,000 yards in a season?
4,000 yards.
4,000?
Never had a 4,000
So
yard
Chicago
passer.
has never really been one for amazing quarterback play, even when they were good.
Yeah.
Way before
It was the
we
defense.
were born.
It was always the defense.
It was always a defensive team, and they killed you on the ground, the run game.
The Bears.
The Bears, but give me the
The
Bears in that
Bears.
one. The Patriots and the Bengals
Bengals.
in
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
And we even
Bengals
got. Is this
big.
unanimous?
Yeah,
or we even
it's
got
Bengals big.
As much as I hate to pick them, yes, I will
Bengals.
take the Bengals and Joe Burrow.
Patriots probably the worst team in football this year.
Bengals
Giants.
are 8.5-point favorites against the
yeah.
Patriots. Yeah, give me the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the
man.
Bengals by 2
We'll see if Joe
touchdowns.
Burrow can stay healthy for the remainder of the year, but week 1's a win. Jamar Chase playing? Maybe.
Ooh.
No?
Not against the Patriots.
Can he sit
gonna
out week 2?
He's gonna sit out week 1 to show like I'm not playing. Really, just in his head, I think he's gonna be like, I'm not playing week 1 because it's the Patriots. But I'm not gonna play
he
week
needs to
1.
sit out week 2 as well.
They got KC week 2?
Yeah, they got to take
Nah.
KC week 2. I need him to sit out that week.
I think he's going to play.
I just can't figure out, like,
He's
what
a year
his-
too early for,
Yeah,
for
like
doing
you
this.
still got 2
Yeah.
years left in your
Mhm.
contract. Why are you right now
He
fighting
saw-
this battle?
He see all the money going around. He said
Mhm.
it's my time to get my money. I'm gonna reset the market.
Did you see where he wants 1 penny more than what Justin Jefferson
Yeah, I
got?
saw that.
1 penny.
One
That's-
penny.
He's
That's-
not Justin Jefferson.
I know he's not Justin
He might have
Jefferson.
petty.
been better than Jefferson in college, but this ain't college. You're not Justin
That is
Jefferson.
crazy they were on the same team in college.
with Joe Burrow.
With Joe Burrow. Yeah, no wonder they won the Natty. We got Jacksonville at Miami.
Ooh. At Miami?
We think Trevor Lawrence figures it out. Calvin Ridley.
I'm high on Lawrence, and I'm high on the Jags this year, but I'm also high on the Dolphins this year. I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but overtime. Dolphins in overtime.
Okay. I also got the Dolphins. They just like to start the season really fast, really hard. Pause.
Easy.
And I feel like in the beginning of the season, Mike McDaniel, Tyreek, they'll be rolling on all cylinders. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
I love Trevor Lawrence, man. I've always loved Trevor Lawrence ever since Trevor Lawrence was in college. He was always against the grain. Said that he didn't lose, but like maybe a game in college, 1 game.
Yeah.
Got to the NFL, has had his struggles. It's hard to win in the NFL. This week 1, I think the Dolphins, they just have too many weapons on offense for the Jags defense to figure it out.
With it being in Miami, too.
And it's in Miami, it's in a warm
Yeah.
place.
Is
that's a
OBJ
plus.
playing, or he's missing the first?
He's out.
Missing the
He's
first
out.
few
Ooh,
weeks.
I don't
He's
think
out.
he is.
He's out, I think, 4 to 6 weeks.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that'll make a difference regardless.
No.
I think the Dolphins will probably win this one by 7-10 points. And Las Vegas agrees with us, guys. -3.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Miami
Close
to
game.
win. How about Carolina at New Orleans?
Oh,
Wow.
the
Is this the worst
snooze-
game of the
The
week?
snooze fest of the week.
Jesus.
I'll take
So high scoring affair.
Panthers 9-6.
Panthers 9.
that score
No
is
touchdowns,
crazy.
all
Straight
field
kickers.
goals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I'm gonna say by a touchdown. I think they score at least 24 points in this game.
I'll start taking the Saints when they start Spencer Rattler.
Let me preach some AFC West bibliography to y'all. Derek Carr can't win games. Derek Carr is a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I do not like Derek Carr. Get him out of here. Give me the Panthers. The Panthers are starting off 1-0.
Bryce
they're-
Young did look good in preseason.
And they got a new head coach. He looks good. Also an offensive, young-minded guru. I mean,
yeah.
Panthers win their division? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Dark horse.
Dark horse maybe to win their division?
Nah.
No. Okay, so we're all going to take the Panthers on that one.
Yeah.
Vikings Giants. Already made up predictions there. Raiders Chargers. AFC West matchup.
The Raiders.
So this is a game you're definitely going
This
to
is
be
a
paying
game
close
I'm going to be
attention
paying
to.
attention to.
I'm thinking for mainly one team, with Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh, making that jump from college to the NFL.
Not like he hadn't done it before.
Yeah,
It's going to
right.
seem effortless. I feel like I'm going to take the Chargers. I think he finally has a disciplined head coach, Justin Herbert, who I'm speaking about, enough to keep him even and killed to win the games at the end. I'm going to take the Chargers.
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh.
Herbert struggles against specifically Max Crosby. He's known for getting in quarterbacks' heads. I know Herbert has all the skills. I'm very low on Herbert.
I agree.
Herbert doesn't win games.
He has all the talent, but he's not a
Win
winning
games.
quarterback. I mean, he's a 500 quarterback
I
at best.
think this Raiders defense could be one of the best defenses in football this year. I mean, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best defensive player in football with Max Crosby.
I mean, you say the same thing for the Chargers defense, though. They are
They
still
do have a solid
star-studded.
defense. But give me the Raiders, and I think they're gonna ground and pound them. I think they have a big running game from the Raiders.
So what I'm looking at here is the former cellar dwellers of the AFC West, as I like to call them. The Chargers, I have said for years, I thought Justin Herbert was one of the most overrated quarterbacks in all of football. And everybody told me, just wait. He's going to get Mahomes' numbers one of these days. He has yet to do that.
Yeah.
He's beat Mahomes once in like week 3 in the middle of the COVID
When
year.
Mahomes did not care.
When Mahomes did not care. It doesn't matter with the Chiefs till you get to the playoffs.
Yep.
I mean, I think the Chargers will beat the Raiders. I don't think Gardner Minshew, I don't think he's the answer. And first-year head coach over there at Las Vegas, he was the interim last year.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce, thank you.
Yeah.
I was struggling on his name.
Good
Antonio
play-
Pierce.
big players coach.
Oh, yeah, big players
Yeah, the players
coach.
are big on him,
But that doesn't always work out in the NFL.
Yeah, that's
sometimes you try to
The
be
X's
friends.
and O's.
especially when you're going against somebody who has been to a Super Bowl before.
Right. And, you know,
Wins at every level. Jim Harbaugh has won at every level.
he has. And Antonio Pierce, I think what he's going to run into early is he's going to try to be friends with the players instead of trying to be the disciplinary with the players. I mean, you got to make a separation there. And we'll see if he can do that. But I don't like Gardner Minshew, even though he's got Devontae Adams.
I'm here for another Devontae Adams tantrum on the sideline. Did y'all see that?
I'm all
Oh,
for
That
it.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And like y'all mentioned about Max Crosby, I think he's one of the best defensive
yeah.
players in all of football. I think he's going to cause trouble for Justin Herbert, but the Chargers will overcome it. Week 1, give it to the Chargers. Broncos Seahawks.
Ooh,
This was Week 1
that's
matchup
gonna
last
be
year.
that's gonna be like a low key, really good game. I feel like people are gonna look over, but it might be one of the best games of this week. I think Bo Nix is gonna have really big flashes. They're gonna see why Sean Payton chose him as his QB1, but I think experience is gonna trump. And I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
I'm also going to go with the Seahawks. I think they got all those options at receiver, Lockett, Metcalf, Nick Jigba, and Walker at running back. I think that offense is going to be a little bit too much for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Seahawks here. I think Bo Nix, we'll see how he works out this year. I'm not too high on him. I think the Seahawks, I mean, you got that two-headed dragon, DK Metcalf, and
Lockett.
Lockett.
Don't
Tyler
sleep on
Lockett.
Nick Jigba. Don't sleep on Nick
I
Jigba.
won't sleep on him, but I think Geno could have a really good year.
Oh, yeah.
They also have a two-headed monster at running back
Charbonnet.
and Walker.
And I'm not just a terrible hater of their defense either. I like the history of the Seahawks defense. I think
Yeah.
they'll have a solid defense. I think the Seahawks will be a decent team, but I got them winning Week 1 against the Broncos, probably by a touchdown or more. And we move to
One of my favorite matchups of Week 1 right here.
right here. We got the Cowboys and the Browns.
Oh my
man.
gosh!
I'm
ready to make some people mad.
It was coming.
It was
The
coming.
team of the week right here, the Dallas Cowboys. It's their year, as I've been told.
Always their year.
Always their year. The Dallas Cowboys. Dink and dunk Dak.
Dink and dunk Dak.
Oh my goodness! Where do we start? I mean,
It's in Cleveland.
it's in Cleveland.
Ooh.
DW4 is looking to have a bounce back season again, as he's been doing the last 3 seasons. But I feel like he might show promise again this year. He doesn't return to form, but I feel like he shows a little bit more promise this year, and I think he does enough to get the job done. The defense speaks for itself on Cleveland's side. Cowboys are the Cowboys. Enough said.
Yeah, I've been saying Browns for the last couple of weeks. I'm big on the Browns. I think Cowboys come in there, they take off some pressure, and the Browns take care of business. But I think I'm going to flip it to what I've been saying. And I know we hate the Cowboys,
Wow.
but they got the CD drama done. Micah defense. I mean, the defense, they got Diggs back. They got Micah off the edge. I'm
Diggs off
iffy
an
on their-
ACL, though.
That's true. I'm iffy on their linebackers.
DeRon Bland
but,
out 6 to 8 weeks.
but I'll take the Cowboys. I think CD has a big week.
Fellas, listen. Not to sound like Stephen A. Smith or anything. you know how he has his lust for the Cowboys, but it's preposterous. The Cowboys are going to roll into Cleveland, and Massage Man himself is going to come out there for the Browns, Deshaun Watson, and he's going to light them up. I think this
I want to see that happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for the Browns here, but I think the Cowboys are going to go in.
I think the Cowboys getting rid of Tony Pollard is the dumbest thing that they have ever done. Well, maybe not ever. Dumbest thing
They brought
they've
in
done
Zeke.
in recent. Zeke's washed. Zeke's washed. Zeke's time in New England has absolutely washed.
The
Zeke.
outlandish comments we receive on a daily basis of real Cowboy fans so excited they signed Zeke back.
Oh,
Swearing he's going to
And the
return
amount
to
of
rookie
yardage
Zeke.
they expect him to pile up this
I
year.
mean, 1,300.
It's preposterous.
1,400.
bro, yeah, they think Zeke's like in prime form. I don't think Zeke is.
They think if they're going to get the ball at the 5-yard line, every time they do, Zeke's just going to score every time.
I also think the Cowboys are going to be dealing with a little bit of mental issues, like as far as like with CeeDee Lamb. I think he and Jerry Jones are still hashing some things out, even though they've gotten the deal done now. I think that's still going to be in the back of CeeDee's head.
Like they're playing with, I mean, any guy like that, any alpha male, any star like that, to him, it's like, hey, you're playing with me. This whole time you were playing with me. If you cared about me that much, you value me that much, you should have just paid me off the rip. I think they're going to regress under Mike Zimmer. I don't know about y'all.
I could see it. I think the Cowboys, they're going to make the playoffs, but I think we're going to see the same thing we do every year.
Yeah.
They might win the first round and then go get bounced in the divisional round. But I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take them by probably a field goal, and Dallas fans are going to start looking forward to next year.
Yep, already.
Commanders Bucks in Tampa Bay.
That's a sleeper game too. That'll be a fun game to watch.
I'm going to go Bucks. Baker Mayfield's going to get the job done.
They lost their OC to Carolina.
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury with the mobile quarterback. Dan Quinn knows how to lead men. I feel like Jaden Daniels should do pretty well. I'm going to go with the Commanders. They're my dark horse in the NFC East.
I'm going to roll with him on that as well. They're my dark horse in the NFC East as well. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to get it figured out at offensive coordinator. I think they're going to start lighting up defenses. I think that's where the Rookie of the Year is going to come from.
Is Bieniemy their OC?
No, Cliff
I thought it was
Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Bieniemy's at UCLA.
Oh, shit.
He
I
left.
thought he was still
Yeah.
there. I didn't know
No,
Cliff.
they went and got Cliff because they knew they were drafting Jaden.
Yeah.
My statement still stands. I like the Washington Commanders.
I like him.
I think that's where the Rookie of the Year is going to come out of, guys.
I just want to see
Personally.
Jaden Daniels stay healthy.
Oh, Jaden
I mean,
Daniels is going to stay healthy.
He's just he has such a small frame for an NFL quarterback behind that really, really bad offensive line.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be amazing this year.
I think he has potential to be really good. He won't be CJ good, but he'll be very fun to watch. And he might have bigger numbers than we saw last year from CJ, but I don't think it'll look as poised. But I agree. Maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Rams-Lions.
Revenge game.
Revenge game.
This is becoming a big game the last
The
couple of years.
quarterback rivalry.
After the quarterback
trade.
trade.
I'm starting to realize week one is actually stacked with great matchups.
No, it's fantastic.
I'm definitely
matchups.
glued to the TV week
Ooh, so where are they playing?
Game is in Detroit.
Back in Detroit
That's
again.
what I had to hear. Give me Detroit.
Oh.
Golf and the guys getting it done.
I'm going to go with LA. I think they're a sleeper. I'm going to go with the Rams. If both of your receivers are healthy, you have a nice two-headed monster if Corum produces at the running back as well with Kyron Williams. They spent most of the last 4 years drafting in the high rounds defensively. They got a couple of defensive studs this year in the draft. Sean McVay's proven he can still get a lackluster team to the playoffs. They shouldn't have been there last year. I'm going to go with the Rams.
I think the Rams are going to have a really good season. I think Cooper Kupp coming back. I think between him and Puka Nacua, it's going to be very hard for defenses to figure out how to stop the Rams. I really do. But the Lions have improved so much, man, over the past 2 years. I'm going to rock with Detroit for this game. I think Detroit's going to do also very well this season. I think these two will probably end up seeing each other again at some point in the year, probably in either the divisional round or the NFC Championship game. So I'm going to take the Lions. And then final game, Monday Night Football, Jets and 49ers.
Trent Williams got signed today?
Correct.
Re-signed, right?
49ers have been dealing with a lot of contract problems.
Yeah, Ricky
Ayuk,
Pearsall, hope he
Trent.
heals up. That's crazy, the Ricky
Yeah.
Pearsall shooting. That was wild.
So this game is in Santa Clara at the 49ers Stadium.
Seems like there's a lot of drama going around the 49ers right now, good
I
or
agree.
bad. I think I'm going to take the Jets in a lower scoring game, not a low scoring game,
Okay.
but in a lower scoring game.
Believe in Aaron Rodgers.
Give me A-Rod, come back, and has a good season for the Jets. Win the division for the Jets.
Ooh.
Win the division?
Win the division.
I'm still Aaron Rodgers. I got to see him get through a drive first without getting hurt, and
That's
still can't believe that's all he was able to do last year.
Yeah, that's valid. The age thing is real. I mean,
but I think the 49ers.
not even the age thing. We have to. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you.
you're fine.
The age thing. I mean, the last good football we've seen from the guy wasn't the last full year he started. If we want to be honest, it was the year before that, his MVP season before that, I believe. The last full year he started, he was, by his standards, was not a good year.
I think he was halfway in, halfway out that year. He saw Love come in, looking as a replacement.
He was ready to
They
get
saw
out of
that
Green Bay.
contract was coming to an end. He was ready to get out of Green Bay.
The 49ers, I think there's a lot of internal issues still going on there. I think this is their last year of the Super Bowl window being as big as it is.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to fall off next year to say they couldn't go to a Super Bowl. But
They'll always be a contender, but I agree with you.
next year, I think they got to pay everybody. You know, but in this game, 49ers Jets, I think they're still going to be able to beat the Jets. I think the Jets still, they got to kind of mesh together a little bit more, kind of get used to having Aaron Rodgers back there for a full game and a full season. But give me the 49ers, and I'm gonna rock with a low scoring game too. The over under is 43.5. I'm gonna take the under on that.
Yeah, I'll take the under on that. I'm not as big as most people is on Brock Purdy. I mean, I think he does a great job for what's asked of him, but he is on a star-studded cast. If you put him on a different team, it just doesn't look the same in my opinion. And I think that shows in the bigger games. I mean, a la the Ravens last year. I mean, that was a massacre. We all saw that game. Was it 4 interceptions?
Yeah, no, it was.
And that was in Santa Clara, was it not?
Correct.
So
Correct.
the Jets have a good defense too, and I feel like we're going to see the leadership in the way the offense rolls better under Aaron Rodgers. And they also have, like most of these teams now, a two-headed monster at running back. This run game is going to be crazy. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. I don't know if y'all have seen the clips of this kid. He's fucking massive. He's a beast.
Oh, no, I have. He's
Yes.
shredded, right?
Yeah, he's shredded.
Braylon Allen?
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
beast.
he's huge.
I think they're going to
Him
play
and Brees
action.
Hall's going to be nasty.
Yes, they're going to run the ball down their throat, play action. Aaron Rodgers is very quick with the release. I just think it's going to be a little bit too much in week 1 for what has been a drama-filled offseason for the San Francisco 49ers.
It'll be very interesting to see how they come out and respond to all this offseason drama, but I still think they'll figure out a way to get it done. Not really sure what they'll do past that. Have an interesting schedule. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. So that's week 1 of the season,
Week
guys.
1.
There's our predictions locked in.
I'm excited.
Set in
It's been way
stone.
too long. I'm ready for some football.
Yeah.
Y'all wanna kind of segue, kind of make your picks. I know it's we haven't even played a game yet, but y'all kind of want to
Early Super Bowl predictions?
start thinking about the playoffs first.
Playoffs?
Who
Okay.
your winner for the divisions will be?
Each division?
winners.
Each division.
What division we starting
We're
in?
gonna start in the AFC. We're gonna start in the AFC East. The Jets, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Bills.
I've said it already. Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets finishing top in that division. I think it's going to be a close one between the Jets and the Dolphins.
Give me the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I feel like they're going to get it done the hard way this year.
Yeah, you think Josh Allen's gonna figure it out?
I mean, he's responsible for 86% of their scores already. And since Joe Brady took over last year, James Cook has become a pivotal part of that offense. And I feel like they're going to be a run-heavy team. Keon Coleman's going to play a bigger role, but they're going to take a lot of pressure off of him. Shakir looked decent at the end of the year last year. I feel like people are kind of writing them off, and I feel like they will be, for other people, a dark horse. I feel like they'll sneak into the divisional winner.
I'm low on him. I feel like Allen's nice. Don't get me wrong. He's a top guy, but that offense just looks way too weak for me. I don't think their defense is very good either. I think
They had lost a lot of pieces, a lot of veteran pieces in the defense.
I think it's going to be kind of like a rebuilding year for them. We've seen it with some other teams in the past. I think this is kind of their slow down rebuilding year, and I don't think they make the playoffs this year.
Amen. Josh Allen has been that guy, but he's not making the playoffs this year. I got the Miami Dolphins. I think they're loaded enough.
We got 3 different teams.
We got 3 different teams. I was not expecting that. I thought we were all going to rock
Yeah.
with Miami. I got the Dolphins. I think they're just they have so much star power. They got Tyreek. They've got Jalen Waddle. They've got Tua if he can.
I'm not confident in Tua, man.
healthy.
That's what takes it over the edge for me is Tua. I'm just not confident in him when it comes in big games. He seems to fold most of the time. I mean, all his major opponents, all his adversaries, the people who put him on a higher level or at his peer level with him when he talks to quarterbacks, he just doesn't show up when he plays those guys.
Well,
I think all those young stars with the Jets, we saw some flashes from the team last year, and they finally get rid of Zach Wilson and get a real quarterback in there, a veteran quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. Everything's adding up for them to have a huge year.
trying to say Zach Wilson's not an elite quarterback.
He's looked a lot better under Sean Payton. I will say that.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's a solid number 3.
Sean Payton. Yeah, okay. We'll just take it away from the Broncos. I'm actually going to throw something else out there about the AFC East. I think the Dolphins will win it, but I think the Jets will also make the playoffs as a wild card. I think Aaron Rodgers and that defense they got over in New York, I think they're going to figure it out. And I think that has me with the Bills missing the playoffs. As much as I love Josh Allen, well, don't love him, but as much as I love him as a quarterback, I don't think he's going to be able to do it with what he's got around him.
What division we got next?
AFC North, Ravens,
The
Bengals,
hardest
Browns,
division.
still the
Division of
hardest
football.
division to
You'll
figure
have
it out.
a last place will have a winning record and not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Last place will be the Steelers.
Ooh.
You think?
Yes, by far.
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure either. That's really a hard question.
Already having QB controversy, and they haven't even played a game yet.
I'm still not.
That's never a good.
I mean,
formula
Mike
for a winning
Tomlin,
team.
dude. TJ Watt, Mike Tomlin. The defense is going to do what the defense does. Mike Tomlin's going to do what Mike Tomlin does. I just can't count them out, the Steelers. But I don't have them winning the division. Give me the Cleveland Browns to win the division.
Ooh.
I'm gonna take the Ravens.
I'm going to start a lot of controversy here.
I'll take the
I'm taking the Browns to win the
Ooh,
division
okay.
Okay.
and the Ravens to come second. Bengals miss the playoffs.
Ooh.
Joe
You think the
Burrow.
Jamar
I
thing?
think the Jamar beef, or not beef, the Jamar controversy, I think it's going to be a psychological thing for a lot of guys.
It's true.
Have you seen? I mean, the blonde Slim Shady here. I feel like he's on a different time. I feel like he has something to prove this year because he heard the naysayers last
Yeah,
year.
they were calling him out before that injury, saying this Joe Burrow got paid, and now look at him. He don't even want to play football.
I got to see if Joe Burrow's going to stay healthy.
That's the thing is the health. If he stays healthy, I mean,
I can't
count him out of the playoffs.
It's going to
Joe
come down to
Burrow's-
if Joe Burrow can stay healthy or if Deshaun Watson can stay out of legal trouble. For the year.
or stay healthy because I feel like last year we just got teased by like, oh, he's ready to go. Oh no, he's not.
If
think
either
they
of
just
those things happen, then I
Go
will
trade for Joe Flacco.
immediately put put Baltimore back up there. Yeah, Joe Flacco. coming
Proven
in.
recipe for success for any team. Just put Joe Flacco in.
So we're all split in the AFC North as well. Maybe we can all agree on the AFC South: the Jags, the Titans, the Texans.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Colts.
Yeah,
we
all
know
the
who it
Titans.
is.
All the Titans.
No,
yeah,
give me
yeah.
the Texans.
The
Give me
Houston Texans.
I think Houston's going to be
Come
far and
on,
away
man.
the best team in that division, with Jacksonville maybe getting into a wild card game. Maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see.
That's
I
a
mean,
tough conference. to
Well,
be.
I see what
all,
Calvin
all
Ridley
of a
can do.
sudden it is though. Like last
Yeah.
year was like
Last year was up in the air.
it was like where everybody was like, this is a joke of a conference. Now look at it, it's like holy. You know, I mean, I mean, of course, I'm rocking with Houston. I feel like Trevor Lawrence was ascending. CJ had his year last year, and he kind of just, and now he's the king of the AFC South.
I think best case scenario for the Jags would be splitting with Houston in the division, like win one at home, win or lose one away,
Splitting the Colts.
splitting the Colts, and then sweeping the Titans.
Yeah, that's the recipe for like. anybody
And then
else.
there's a lot of stuff that has to go wrong
Mhm.
for the Texans. So we're all picking the Texans to win
Yes.
the AFC South. The
Smart.
AFC West, Kansas
Smart.
City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Denver. Yeah, I'm sure this one's going to take a while to deduce.
All right,
Give me
I
the
hate
Chiefs.
to say it. Yeah, I hate to say it, but give me Kansas City. I
Yeah.
mean,
Really? We had to
Give me
think about it.
Kansas City.
We had to think about if the Chiefs were
I
going to win
mean-
their division.
Pretty easily, I think.
Pretty-
I mean,
I think they're going
look at the other teams we have in that. They're the other three teams are competing for the number 1 pick, and then there's the Chiefs.
I think we're going to lose a division game, though. We're going to lose to the Chargers on something stupid. I can just feel it.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna probably drop one. I mean, you dropped to the Raiders last year, right?
Correct,
I
on
mean,
Christmas Day.
mhm. So it's gonna happen. It's a divisional game. You know what they say.
I ruined Christmas.
I feel like Broncos are gonna surprise a lot of people. I was not. I'm not a huge Sean Payton guy, especially last year. I was kind of like teared away from him the way he kind of handled the Russell Wilson thing. But I feel like he found his guy. I think with the kid.
I think the Chargers, I think this is a one-team division over here. I think the Chiefs will be the only team in the playoffs from this division. But I think if Jim Harbaugh can kind of start figuring things out, maybe improve the offensive line, get a running back that runs faster than me, then, the Chargers, and maybe next year we'll be talking, the Chargers have a chance to compete with the Chiefs for the division. But now it's Kansas City.
Yeah, I feel like Chargers are a year away probably. Then you're away until we hear the who's got it better than us.
Who's got it better? All right. Moving over to the NFC. The NFC East. The former best division.
Yeah. NFC least.
NFC least. We got the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Cowboys.
I'm going to go with my favorite team, the New York Giants, to finish last.
That's a solid take. I agree with that.
Come on, man.
But realistically, give me the Eagles pretty handily. I'm going to think this year to win the division. I think they win 13 games.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna take the Eagles. I feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna take a step up in leadership. Maybe not in production, but I feel like with the questionable relationship with Sirianni and how he leads the team, he'll take another step up in his leadership notch and lead the team to a division title.
I got to go with the Eagles as well. I think that they just have all the pieces right now to win now. I think they're a Super Bowl or bust team. I just can't. I'll see the Cowboys probably going to the playoffs. This is probably a 2-team playoff division. The Eagles, I just think, are far and away better. Cowboys are going to screw something up in the year, maybe struggle on the road again like they did last year.
Having no run game.
But I've got the Giants picked above the Commanders, if it makes you feel any better.
It doesn't. I want the number 1 pick.
As much as I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the Rookie of the Year, I still think the Giants are going to figure out a couple ways to win games that the Commanders can't.
With how bad our team is, I'm going to ride the Carson Beck or Shador Sanders train, whoever going to come out as the top guy.
Jesus.
Not Shador.
This guy.
NFC North, Bears, Vikings, Packers, Lions.
Oh, this should be clear cut. I mean,
I think it is, but I've also, I could see.
Clear cut?
Can we all agree Minnesota's going to be last?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm good with that one.
I got the Vikings finishing.
I think
last.
they're going to do better than people think. I think Sam Darnold's going to surprise a little bit of people, make it interesting. But I think I got them last.
I got the Lions.
Lions winning the division.
Lions. Oh, I got the Packers.
Ooh,
I got the Packers.
I don't have the Bears. I think the Bears will finish third.
I think the Bears sneak into a playoff spot.
I think it's going to be the Lions.
They don't play the Packers very well. They just don't.
I think it's going to be the Lions, but the Packers will get in as a wild card.
I think Dan Campbell figures out how to beat the Packers this year, and they get the job done. I think they split it.
I think when Detroit, when Detroit goes to Green Bay, I think
home team takes both games.
Agreed. I agree with that. Watch it be flipped now.
That'd be crazy.
So we're rocking with Detroit. Jacob, you're rocking with
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay. Yep. Okay. NFC South: Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta.
The worst division of football.
Yeah, is it? It might be.
It's a possibility.
Or could it be like what we thought with
and it's
AFC
really
South?
up in the air. It's really up in the air. Like, we all want to possibly lean towards Atlanta, especially with the additions that they've made, but it's anybody's game.
I'm going to take Atlanta. I think, like you were saying, with all the additions they made, I think they're going to end up having a top 5 defense this year.
Yeah.
And I think Atlanta wins the division. I think the Bucks keep it kind of close towards the end of the season, but I think all the guys Atlanta's picked up in the offseason, I think Atlanta takes the division this year.
New Orleans, Carolina, Mickey Mouse clubs. I mean, there's just nothing there that entices me.
I don't even want to watch
I can't believe that's a week 1 game. Tampa Bay, I think they'll finish second in the division, which would put the Atlanta Falcons for the first time in a long time.
Since the Michael Vick era?
since
Matt Ryan
was
Matt
there.
Ryan era.
First time that I
Yeah.
can remember being excited about the
Yeah.
Falcons playing football.
That's true.
But I got them as winning the NFC South. And that brings us to, I think, what's going to be a very controversial pick for us here, the NFC West. The Rams,
Give me.
Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals.
I'm ready. Give me the LA Rams.
I hate that you did that because I wanted to be the one to do that. I wanted to be the one to be like, I'm rocking with
They
the Rams.
still made the playoffs last year, dude. I mean, no, but everybody counted them out. They still made the playoffs. It wasn't like a throwaway game either. They took it to the Lions. The Lions just came out on top. They're gonna be better this year, and I feel like I'm not a big Kyle Shanahan guy. He can never win the big game. I feel like they're gonna have a fall off a little bit, and just enough for McVay to take that spot again.
I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think both teams have very talented offenses. I think the 49ers defense is just far better than the Rams. So I'm going to take the Niners, bouncing back off another Super Bowl. I don't think they make it as far in the playoffs. I think playoffs they have a fall off this year, but I think they win the division.
I think the Rams are going to win the division. Here's why. They now have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
Now we're going to see if Cooper Kupp is still the Cooper Kupp that we know and love or not, because he's dealing with that injury, but he's back now. And I think that's going to open the Rams up enough to where they're going to be able to establish an offensive identity this year, and they're going to be very hard for other teams to stop. Now, I think the Niners, actually, now that I'm looking at it, the Niners might finish third in their division. I like
mean,
the Seahawks.
I like the Seahawks too. I didn't want to say that, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks got their crap together and second, possibly first. It just depends. That's probably one of the outside of the AFC North. That's the hardest division in football. Do we agree?
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah,
the
for
games are
sure.
close. They're never really shutouts. They play each other hard.
I would call the Seahawks an X factor to have a Cinderella type run this year, I
Yeah.
guess you could call it. They got all the guys at offense. I think they have the best cornerback duo in football with Witherspoon.
Hey, you're a Cardinals guy, are you not? I thought
I am
you're
a
big on
Cardinals
Kyler
guy.
Murray, yes?
No, I am a Cardinals guy. I think they're going to have a solid year this year. I think that division's just so tough.
Where you got him finishing?
I got them finishing last, but I'll say one game under 500 though, which
It's
I
not
think
bad.
for a Cardinals,
8-9 for
I say Cardinals. I mean, I
Yeah.
think Cardinals fans should be happy with an 8-9
If that happens,
record.
though, do you can Kyler Murray? Is that the end of the Murray era?
No,
I
I
don't
think
think
you rock
so.
with them.
Yeah,
I think you rock
You
with them.
invested in him with Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean,
I would. Oh, yeah, that's true. He's got a real
Harrison,
receiver. I mean, he
yeah.
had D-Hop, but
One of the most underrated tight ends in football, and Trey
Trey
McBride.
McBride.
He's nasty. And then James Conner.
he's a consistent.
James
Conner-
Conner's.
that's a sleeper
It's a
pick.
gritty
for
back.
fantasy,
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
is.
I tell you,
I got him in all 3 leagues.
James Conner can get you some yards when you need them in fantasy. So we have all our picks for the divisions. Let's go as we're running out of time here. AFC, NFC championship games, and then we'll do Super Bowl. Start with you, Jacob.
AFC Houston Texans
Hey, rocking with
against
Nico.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chiefs Texans.
Chiefs
AFC
Texans.
championship.
The game we all want to see. Let's be real.
I think that is the now versus the what's to come game. I think
Yeah.
is what I would dub it, because
Of course.
I think that would be an offensive shootout for the ages right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce. Even though you said Travis Kelce's starting to look slow.
he is looking
He is
slow.
Hey,
looking
hey,
sluggish.
hey, hey.
He's
Taylor
looking
Swift done got him
happy.
comfortable.
He looks happy. I'm happy for the guy.
Looks like
but
he
I
gonna-
saw him running a route the other day, and it didn't look good. It
No,
looked
it
like your
didn't.
uncle who was like, "Hey, let me get out here real quick. Let me show you."
Hey,
nephew."
man, it's okay. It's okay. You know.
But I mean, he's a primetime player, so
I think
can't
he's
ever
gonna
count
join
him
his
out.
brother here pretty soon.
I
as
think.
full-time podcaster.
Hey, he's still got 2 years left on his contract. So let's all calm down. He's gonna be with us for a little while.
I feel like if they
longer.
three-peat, he's done.
Yeah, I'm agree, but
But
I don't
they're
think
not gonna
they.
three-peat,
I don't
so-
think
Hey,
they
can y'all-
3-peat. I think Joe Burrow is gonna knock them off in the divisional. I'm gonna take Bengals, Texans in the NFC Championship.
Ooh, I like that one.
You think for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, he doesn't make an AFC
I think
championship
so.
game?
I think you said earlier, his kryptonite is Joe Burrow. I think he has to run into Joe Burrow in that second round, and
in Cincinnati,
it's gonna be in
or in
Kansas City. It's gonna be in Kansas City. But like you said, that's his kryptonite, and it's gonna show.
So you've got the Texans and the Bengals.
I do.
You've got the Texans and the Chiefs.
Yep.
I've also got the Texans and the Chiefs. I
Yeah.
think Nico's going to put it together this year, and it's going to be an amazing game. Probably going to eclipse 60, 65 points between the two of them. I see an offensive shootout. But I've got the Chiefs winning. I've got the Chiefs winning that game.
Boo.
I got the Texans winning against the Bengals. I hate to say it's their year, but I think it's their year to get it out the AFC. I think all the acquisitions they got this offseason and CJ Stroud in that big second year that we've seen from multiple QBs, I think it's that time for the Texans.
Yeah, I think it's the same against the Chiefs for the Texans. I think everybody's wanting Joe Burrow, wanting Josh Allen, wanting Lamar to take out Mahomes, right? Because we want a good adversary like Manning and Brady.
Right.
But it's CJ. It's clearly nobody's more poised than this kid. He's a leader of men. We've never seen somebody come in there and lead a team. I mean, we thought they were going to win 5-6 games max last year. I feel like he is the one to take it to Mahomes year after year, just like Manning and Brady did back in the day.
We're going to go over to the NFC.
NFC side.
Give me Eagles and give me Niners.
Ooh. Okay, you got the Eagles. Sirianni figures it out.
I do.
Gets them back on track.
The Sirianni figures out enough to get him to the Super Bowl. I got the Eagles winning over the 49ers.
Oh, wow.
Getting them back to the Super
I
Bowl.
was not expecting that. You're very much higher on the Eagles than
I am.
Give me the Rams versus the Packers. That's my pick.
You know what's so crazy about that?
Y'all-
That is my NFC
Is it really?
championship game. Rams, Packers. I'm so high on the Rams.
Yeah, I am too.
And I think the Packers are going to be really, really good. I think
Who y'all got coming out, though?
who we got coming out. We may differ there.
I got the Packers. I feel like Jordan Love is.
Hey, we're not going to differ at all.
I think he's the real deal. I mean, we saw the last 10 games. I mean, he was QB1 the last 10 games.
Yeah.
And his receivers got better. The team has meshed better. Matt LaFleur has had more time to coach this guy. They're a cohesive unit now. I think they're the real
I
deal.
think Jacob's reading my mind over there. So I got the Packers going to play in the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Rematch of Super Bowl I.
So now we naming our Super Bowl winners.
So I've got Chiefs, Packers.
I've got Eagles, Texans,
Texans, Packers.
and give me Sirianni getting it figured out all the way,
Eagles win
and the
another
Eagles
one.
getting a Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. Jalen Hurts. I mean, he is that type of
Jalen
leader.
Hurts. We forget they were in the Super Bowl
And his
just 2 years
performance
ago, and he
was
played great.
crazy.
He did. He just ran into
Was that the greatest single performance behind maybe Steve Young?
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, by a quarterback. I mean, it
What if
was
he'd won?
Yeah, I still think the greatest
Nah,
single
it was a
performance
good
from a
performance.
quarterback, shaking the boat here. I think it's Nick Foles, which also another Eagles player.
Just
Yep.
because the
So I think
Yeah.
Eagles do it again though with
Yep.
Jalen Hurts this time.
Have you
having a
ever
big
seen like
game.
the picture of the 4 quarterbacks it was that year?
It was bad.
It was like
yeah,
Kirk Cousins,
Blake Bortles,
Blake Bortles,
Nick
that was a
Foles,
crazy
and Tom
year.
Brady.
That
Yeah.
was a crazy
and
year.
Tom didn't win it.
Tom did not win it. Okay, so you've got the Eagles winning.
I got
the
the
Super
Eagles
Bowl.
winning the Super Bowl this year,
Uh,
which
of
as a
course,
Giants fan
Pains
kills me
you,
to
yeah.
say.
Saquon goes to Philadelphia and gets a ring.
And gets a ring
First year.
That'd be insane.
That's a dream.
first year, but he won't be healthy for the Super Bowl. So.
I got the Texans. I think with that O-line, he might actually be able to stay healthy. But I got the Texans beating. I think it's the two behind Mahomes. Love and CJ Stroud are also two of the best quarterbacks we're going to see in the future. But I got the Texans. I mean, I'm wearing the hat for a reason. Maybe a little biased, but
A lot of bias.
people sleep on the defense. The defense is also scary. Go watch the interview that Sean McVay had talking about the Texas defense and the live practices they had together.
Texans defense is the underdog of the team, huh?
Yeah.
You know, they're going to carry them to a Super Bowl victory for the first time ever.
Might have the nastiest cornerback room of football by the end of the season.
Well, I'm sure to nobody's surprise at this point in the podcast, Chiefs Packers rematch of Super Bowl I. We're getting revenge for what Bart Starr did in Super Bowl I. All right, give me the Chiefs. 3-peat for the first time ever. Solidify the dynasty.
The script writers wrote it.
The script writers wrote it.
Taylor Swift.
Travis Kelce gets down on one knee.
and proposes.
Oh,
So now she gets a ring. He gets
I
a
want
ring.
somebody
Andy
to clip
retires.
this.
Hey.
Andy, he probably has 2 years left. I want somebody to clip. If that
Nah.
happens, we got to clip this. We got to say this and
Yeah.
clip
Nah,
it and post it.
Andy is there until Mahomes leaves or he dies.
Oh, I do have a hot take, and that's kind of sidebar. But once Andy leaves, Mahomes returns the Cowboys to glory.
Nah, he's gonna rock with the Chiefs.
It's his hometown. Older Mahomes is his hometown team.
Nah, he's gonna stay with the Chiefs his whole career.
All right.
Nah, he's not going to the Cowboys. Absolutely not. If
Watch
he
it
does
happen.
that-
Book it. Older Mahomes, watch. On the back end, no Andy Reid on the Chiefs. I could see it.
If Patrick Mahomes goes to the Cowboys, y'all better come check on me. Y'all better come knock on my door and make sure that I'm still here with y'all.
Yeah.
Because I will be in a very, very dark place. I cannot have Cowboys fans having that, man.
Should we do a early MVP offensive player predictions to round it off?
Round it off.
MVP? Give me Jalen Hurts.
Wow, for MVP
MVP
of the league.
of the league.
Jesus. No surprise. With all those weapons, CJ Stroud. I'm gonna go CJ Stroud.
It's an interesting.
Do we get bias from both ends?
It's not biased. Look at the weapons.
Nah, I'm actually also going to rock with CJ Stroud.
There we go.
I think he's going to have one of those years. I think he will win MVP. Mahomes wins Super Bowl MVP, the one that matters.
Okay.
I'm taking Hurts for both.
Hurts for both.
Hurts for both.
Can I get a parlay on that?
Yeah. Let me see your money line, man.
If I was 21, I'd book it right now.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're out of time, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Episode 1 of the Fourth and Goal.
Fourth and football.
Fourth and football.
Clip that, edit
it. Yeah, clip that. Fourth and Football podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. From myself, Wyatt, Jacob, we appreciate you, and we will see y'all next time. God bless.